We're back with a fresh beach update. This time, we checked beaches not only in Cancun, but also in Playa del Carmen and Tulum to see how they compared during the second half of July. We also flew our drone over several areas that viewers asked us to check after our previous updates. One of Cancun's most famous beaches was covered in Sargassum when we visited, while another beach just a few miles away was almost completely clean. Playa del Carmen looked much better than some of the dramatic videos online might lead you to expect. Tulum, however, was a different story. The situation there was not looking so good. So, which destination had the cleanest beaches, and where did we find the worst Sargassum? After our previous videos, a couple of viewers told us that the beaches they had seen looked much worse than the conditions shown in our footage. Others thought that what they saw in our previous updates already looked bad. But everything is relative, and in today's video, we'll show you what truly bad conditions can look like. Unfortunately, conditions can deteriorate very quickly. But the opposite is also true. Beaches can improve just as fast. If you'd like to compare the conditions with what we saw in June or at the beginning of July, we'll leave links to our previous updates in the description. Sargassum conditions can change dramatically depending on the beach, the day, the wind, and the currents. That's why, this time, we expanded our report beyond Cancun to give you a much broader comparison. We're starting, as usual, at Cancun's iconic Playa Delfines. As you can see, the beach looks very different from the last time we were here. We filmed this on July 25th, and on the day of our visit, there was a large amount of sargassum on the sand, with even more floating in sizable patches just offshore. The water does not look inviting at all. Sargassum is densely concentrated near the shore, and almost no one is swimming, apart from a couple of brave people. Cleanup crews are working continuously to remove it and bring the beach back into shape. But the volume is significant, and more sargassum is still washing ashore. The last time we visited Playa Delfines, the beach was in much better condition, which once again shows how quickly things can change. However, Playa Delfines does not represent the entire hotel zone. Although this beach was heavily affected on the day of our visit, conditions improved considerably as we moved farther north. From here, we're heading to Playa Marlin, where we'll also check the beach around Beach Palace Cancun. One of our viewers asked us to fly over this resort area, so this footage is especially for them. As you can see, conditions here are nowhere near as bad as they were at Playa Delfines. There is some sargassum on the sand and a few relatively small patches in the water, but overall, the beach looks much cleaner. The water is not completely free of sargassum, but this area appears much more inviting for swimming than Playa Delfines did today. Next, let's see how Playa Chac-Mool and Playa Forum compare. During our previous visit, Playa Chac-Mool was the most heavily affected beach we checked, with water the color of coffee, while conditions at Playa Forum were changing quickly. Today, however, the water in this area looks much cleaner, and plenty of people are swimming and enjoying both the sea and the beach. There is still some sargassum on the sand, but the water is mostly clean, with no large patches visible offshore. Once you step over the line of sargassum that has washed ashore, the turquoise water looks clear and inviting. Cleanup crews are also actively working to remove the remaining sargassum. Overall, conditions here look much better than we expected, and much better than they did during our previous visit. Our final stop in Cancun is Playa Caracol, another area that one of our viewers asked us to check. This part of the hotel zone is home to the Riu Cancun and Riu Palace Las Americas hotels. Of all the beaches we visited in Cancun today, this is by far the cleanest, and you can tell. Plenty of people are swimming and enjoying both the beach and the beautiful Caribbean water. There's only a small amount of scattered sargassum on the sand, while the water looks clean and inviting. On the day of our visit, this was one of the best-looking beaches on our list. So, even within Cancun's hotel zone, we found everything from a heavily affected Playa Delfines to an almost completely clean Playa Caracol, all during the same visit. But how do these conditions compare with what we found in Playa del Carmen? We spent a couple of days in Playa del Carmen, and honestly, conditions were nowhere near as dire as we expected, or as some of the videos circulating online might suggest. Many of those dramatic images were filmed near the ferry terminal. We checked that area too, and yes, the accumulation there was considerably heavier than on the beaches farther north. But that one section does not represent the entire Playa del Carmen coastline. The beach near the ferry terminal is relatively narrow, and during our visit, much of the sargassum was concentrated around that particular area. As we moved farther north, conditions improved noticeably. Between July 22nd and 24th, we checked and filmed the coastline from Playa Incluyente through Playa Mamitas and up to Coco Beach. Overall, the town beaches were in reasonably good condition during our visit. There was still sargassum in the water and some scattered along the shoreline, but we did not see the enormous piles covering entire beaches that some online footage might lead you to expect. The water did not have its famous bright turquoise color everywhere, but that did not stop locals from enjoying an early morning or evening swim. We also did not notice a strong, unpleasant smell in the areas we checked. Apart from the ferry terminal area, of course. And Playa Mamitas looked almost perfect, with clean beaches, clear water, and plenty of people out enjoying the beach. From the air, you can see some of the measures being used to manage the problem. Offshore barriers are designed to intercept or redirect sargassum before it reaches the beach, while specialized vessels collect accumulations from the water. Playa del Carmen's official 2026 strategy includes 5 kilometers or 3 miles of offshore barriers. The Mexican Navy is also responsible for operating several sargassum collection vessels and smaller support boats as part of the coordinated response. Of course, these systems cannot guarantee perfectly clean beaches. But during our visit, most of the town beaches we checked looked substantially better than the area immediately beside the ferry terminal. That is why judging an entire destination based on a single viral clip can give you a very incomplete picture. And finally, we come to Tulum. Of the 3 destinations we checked, Tulum had the worst sargassum conditions on the day of our visit. This is what the coastline looked like from the Tulum Archaeological Zone on July 23rd. As you can see, there is a heavy accumulation of sargassum along the shoreline, a large amount floating in the water, and even more continuing to wash ashore. Offshore barriers are visible in parts of the area, and local authorities regularly carry out cleanup and removal operations on the beaches of Tulum National Park. But during our visit, the volume arriving appeared to be overwhelming the measures in place. So why can the difference between destinations and even individual beaches be so dramatic? Wind, ocean currents, local coastal circulation, and changing weather conditions all influence where floating sargassum eventually reaches the shore. That is why conditions can differ not only between Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and Tulum, but also between neighboring beaches and from one day to the next. While we were preparing this video, the federal government announced a new statewide plan to strengthen Sargassum collection across Quintana Roo. The plan is expected to include more collection vessels and additional offshore barriers, coordinated by the Mexican Navy and the Federal Tourism Ministry. It remains to be seen how quickly these additional resources will translate into cleaner beaches on the ground. So, what did we learn from this trip? Cancun had the widest range of conditions. Playa Delfines was heavily affected, while Playa Caracol looked almost completely clean. Playa del Carmen was not sargassum-free, but most of the beaches we checked looked considerably better than the heavily affected area beside the ferry terminal. And during our visit, Tulum was clearly the worst affected of the three. But remember, this report shows what these places looked like on the specific days we filmed them. Conditions may already have changed by the time you watch this video, which is why recent beach-specific reports are much more useful than judging an entire destination from one photograph or one short clip. By the way, while we were in Tulum, we also filmed a separate guide to visiting the archaeological zone independently and on a budget. We traveled there by bus, without booking a tour, and without renting a car. We'll explain how to get there, what the visit costs, what to expect when you arrive, and how to make the most of your day. We're working to make it just as detailed as our guides to the Xcaret parks, so keep an eye out for that video. Several of the areas in today's update were included because viewers requested them. So, if you're traveling to Cancun, Playa del Carmen, or Tulum soon and want us to check a specific beach or resort area, leave the name in the comments, and we'll try to include it in a future update. We've also created our own Sargassum tracking tool, along with a detailed article containing useful information and resources for checking conditions before your trip. You'll find both links in the description. And if this video helped you, please give it a like, share it with anyone planning a trip to the Mexican Caribbean, and subscribe for more beach updates and practical travel guides from those of us who live here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.